Okay, hi, welcome. This is Alisa Carr with Eye of the Heart, and this is the second of the series from Denigration to Devotion, a Mary Magdalene series. So, this is the second one, as I said. The first one, you may want to go check it out if you haven't already listened to it. In that video, I talked about a message that I had received from Mary Magdalene that was about her, but not only about her, about all of us and about our earth. And it's called, I Have Not Been Treated as Sacred. So please, if you have not yet watched that, please go to that one. And I am intending for all of these videos, there will be 5 of them total, to be an experience of meditation and a healing experience. So in each one of them, I'll be doing a little bit of an opening, I'll be doing some teaching, and then I'll be inviting us into a longer meditation, often with some music. And so that is our format for today. Today, we are talking about Mary Magdalene's ministry of anointing and healing, and the way that she herself was healed, and the way that she was a teacher and a priestess and probably a co-partner with Jesus in healing. And as you can see, I'm outside. You can see my neighbor's backyard behind me, but I wanted to be in this grove of trees with y'all today. The birds are amazing and the light is fantastic, and as we are meditating, I'll be turning to the trees so we can see there's just the light in my hands even. And we have my dog Booker with us. All of these plants, trees, birds, light, sunlight, they're all a part of our healing today. So I think with that, we'll get started, and I'm going to start with the chant that I shared last time from the group that I worship with, St. Hildegard's. So if you can, just get yourself into a relaxed position, a quiet space. This will probably last around 30 minutes, I'm thinking. So get comfortable and allow yourself this space and this time for you. So here's the chant. Slowly blooms the rose within. 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 Okay, so once again, I am Alisa Carr. I am an InterSpiritual Spiritual Director, and will be using practices and teachings from several different traditions as we meet today. And Mary Magdalene comes to me mostly through the Christian tradition, and it has been in my journey over the last 8-10 years or so, where I have found her in many other places and brought some different practices in to honor her. So let me look at my notes here. So also in the video last time, I was inviting each of us to see what are the parts inside of ourselves that we have rejected, that we have denigrated, that we have seen as unworthy, ugly, soiled. So we also have some other sounds overhead. The airplane, we'll see how this works out. So I asked you to be listening for what might come up through those, and then this session about healing is bringing those into this container here. So we have this larger container of these 5 sessions that I'm going to be offering you, and then we have this container today, and this one is focused on the healing aspect. And so there is this paradox in the tradition. So over the years, the myth, or I don't even like to call it that, the falsehood that was put out there about Mary Magdalene being the sinner, the prostitute, the unworthy woman, let's put it that way. Much of that has been dispelled in at least the traditions that I'm associated with. But we still have this story in the Gospel of Luke where she's not identified as Mary Magdalene, but the tradition associates her, that she's called a sinner, and she comes, I imagine, sort of as a poor and wild woman also, although with this expensive perfume, this nard. She's known as the woman with the alabaster jar. And she comes and she breaks into a dinner party at a well-known man, I think a Pharisee's house. And of course that would be a gathering that only men would have been invited to or welcome to. But she breaks in on this gathering and pours this expensive perfume of nard all over the feet of Jesus, and she cries tears seemingly of love and gratitude to him, and she dries his feet and her tears with her hair, all of this on the floor at the foot of Jesus's feet. And this story could bring up many different reactions, especially if you are a woman or someone identifying with the feminine, the way at the feet, and the oppression that has been part of the patriarchy. But despite all of that, this story for me was an introduction to a much deeper relationship with Mary Magdalene. And what I imagined is that she had an experience of being seen and known and accepted and loved for who she knew herself to be in her core, not for what the world had portrayed her to be. And that when that happened, when she felt seen, known, and loved, that this well of emotion, of gratitude, of love came up in her, that in being seen, that she found some of herself, and that she had no choice but to go and pour out this heart full of love to Jesus, who I imagine is the one who saw her. And I don't know about you, but if you've had that experience ever of someone knowing that someone sees you when they look into your eyes, that they really see who you are, it's a profound experience. And when in that seeing they seem to know and recognize and appreciate what they see, It is like that rose that just opens and flowers within us. And that is the point of all that I'm trying to offer here, is that we can allow the rose that is our essential being to just blossom and flower. So that story, we wonder what the gospel writers were trying to accomplish, that possibly they purposefully were trying to silence the importance of Mary Magdalene, and so they don't name her and they make her show up as a sinner. And because in other stories she's identified as a woman of means, and in some of the other stories, and we'll get to that next time, the position that she holds, it would be likely that she was actually the partner of Jesus, even maybe the spouse of Jesus. So, but I share this healing story, and I ask us to hold this paradox together. That in and of itself is a very powerful thing to do, to hold these opposites together. That there's this story that we honor as Mary Magdalene in need of healing, and then the ones that we will get to later on, where she is a teacher and a leader and a priestess herself. We believe she is probably from the line of Isis, the temple of Isis, and that's where her healing arts were shared and taught. So what I invite us into today is just that experience of being seen and known, appreciated and loved, accepted. And any experience that you've had of that, whether that be with a best friend, a parent, a lover, a child, a colleague, that you tap into that experience. And it is in the context of that place within ourselves that we want to bring in these more rejected and denigrated parts of ourselves. And then in the bigger story of Mary Magdalene, we have her in this story, the writers making it as if she's being drawn out of denigration by Jesus and then into her devotion. But whatever, in these past 2,000 years, she certainly has been denigrated, and we are now bringing her so we can be devoted to her and learn her, follow her example of devotion. So just bringing those experiences of being seen and known, and then those places that are showing you that they are still in need of healing. We kind of bring all of those into this present moment. And in a minute, I'm going to lead us in a chant of healing that comes from yet another spiritual tradition. Let me check on my notes here and see if I'm... Oh, yes, what I also wanted to share is part of why I wanted to come out here in the wooded area today is the Mary Magdalene, as I mentioned, is known for her anointing arts. And anointing is a ritual of healing. It's also a ritual of initiation, which we'll talk about tomorrow, or in my next video. But this anointing for healing, we find that in so many traditions. So it's definitely in the Christian church, but it's ancient. And the medicine women and the shamans and the medicine men of indigenous traditions knew the plants and knew the healing properties of plants. And and also trees. And so one of the oils, or the oil that is associated with Mary Magdalene in these Gospels, is nard or spikenard. Also, we have the oils of frankincense and myrrh that she comes to the tomb with. But so these are oils that come from the rosin of trees, thus the forest here that I'm in, and also just the plant oils that we know that are healing and relaxing, anti-inflammatories, antibacterials, anti-fungus, or just help us connect in with the spirit. So whether that be through opening up our consciousness in powerful ways, or bringing us into a state of just peace in ourselves where we can more deeply connect with spirit. So I have an oil here that I invite you, if you have a favorite essential oil, or if you don't and you just have some olive oil or coconut oil, I invite you to pause this video right now and go grab that. And I'm going to go grab mine over here. Apologize for the mic noises. And so I want us to do a ritual of anointing ourselves while I share in the mantra with you. So let me introduce that first. The mantra is Sanskrit, so it's coming from the more Hindu and Kundalini tradition. And I am not a student of that, but I do listen to the chants all the time, and they're really beautiful and healing. And this one is particularly a chant of healing. And it goes, Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, Sa, Se, So, Hung. And those words, and I'm going to have to get my notes for this, the Ra is the word for sun. The Ma is the word for moon. Da, earth. Sa is the impersonal infinity. I believe that's referring to like the infinity of all that's not necessarily connected to me or to you. Well, it's connected to us, but it's not us. And then the Sa Se is the totality of infinity. The So is the personal sense of who I am, my boundaries, my sense of being. And the Hung, the infinite, vibrating, and real. Isn't that awesome? And so I invite you to sing along with me after you get the rhythm. I hope to carry this mantra for at least several minutes. And the vibration that we're sharing is part of the healing. So sound is also healing. That's why, the birds, the doves, I hope you hear them cooing. And we bring that into this intention for being seen and known, loved and accepted, and those more rejected, denigrated parts of us, to bring them into this light, and let's see them, let's know them for who they really are, and let's accept and love them as well. So if you'll get out your oil, and I'll begin our chant. Ramadasa sa se so hum. 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 Okay, so connect in with your breath as you bring your awareness back into your body, back into wherever you have been viewing and listening to this teaching and healing ceremony on anointing and on the the healing ministry of Mary Magdalene. And I thank you for being here with me today. And I brought my altar out here. As you can see, the indoor altar I forgot to share in the last video. I did really charge that with crystals and incense and intention. And I've just brought a few items. The hunk of alabaster, which comes from the story of Mary Magdalene with her alabaster jar of ointment, and the chalice, which is also a symbol of Mary Magdalene. We'll get to that later. And the I don't know if you can see them, but I have pearls and a wedding band for the Eros Gamos, the sacred marriage. And we will also talk about more of that next time. So I thank you so much for joining me. I hope that the birds and the trees and the plants have been a healing addition to you, and that you will check in. By that I mean open up to, that's a better thing to say, open up to this act of anointing as a critical part of our journey and our healing. Thank you so much. And I end again with the chant. Ra ma da sa. Sa se so hung.